those of us who have done the work of sort of like psychological work on ourselves and as groups and with each other around fear and learning how to manage that fear and to be humbled by it whilst trying to be constructive and face difficult truths. I think a lot of the work, we've done some of that heavy lifting psychologically somehow, or particularly through art, I think. And I think I think people who are panicking most are people who've never had to think about the end of life as we know it.
Right. Yeah. And you've talked a lot about darkness and death and things like that as well. So do you gravitate towards that, or do you like to dive into that as a kind of for your work?
I think it was the starting point of the work that I was doing on climate change. I think the person I was collaborating with, Mish Weaver, who's a circus artist, and myself did actively embrace the dark in the second breath, in a way that was deliberate and unflinching, and sort of we were reading both of us Smile or Die by I can't remember what she's called now, the author, but the idea that sort of we all have to go around being happy, and that if we're not, somehow anything bad that happens is our fault. The sort of like the relentless positivism. It felt like a kind of a welcome release from that. And I think the thing about darkness is that it's one, light. You have to have light and darkness. To find the light, you have to face the darkness. There's a quote I love by Dougal Hind, which he's written more than once, but he says, "Art can give us just enough beauty to stay with the darkness rather than flee or shut down." And I think it gives us a sort of strength to stay with the darkness and to work with the darkness as well as the light.